Hello, dear teachers. This is Meenakshi Narula at Mentoring the Mentors. And now I'm going to share with you another wonderful strategy. Yes, that's station rotation strategy. This strategy is a kind of blended learning model. If, as a teacher, you want to bring innovation in your class, you want to teach the same topic to your students through different strategies, and at the same time, you would like to give individualized attention to a small group of students, then this is a perfect strategy for you to use in the class. Right? Now, how will this strategy work? Let us discuss about it. So, in this strategy, what a teacher has to do? First of all, the teacher has to divide the students into groups, right? Into groups. How will she divide? Either, as always, I use popsicle, or maybe based on their learning style, the students can be divided into different groups, or you may use various kinds of apps, tools available to randomly select the students so that they can be divided into groups, right? As one of them is wheels of name that I frequently use in my classes, right? Other also, there are number of other tools that are also available for that. So when you will be dividing the students into different groups, make sure when they'll be going to different stations, usually we have three types of stations in our class for the station rotation strategy. One station is teacher-led station. Another station is student-led station where the students, they'll be doing some kind of activities planned for them. And the third one should be computer-based learning experience learning station should be there, right? So the students, when they'll be divided into groups, now it depends upon you as a teacher, like whether you want to continue with the fixed groups or you want to have dynamic groups in your class, right? Fixed groups remain the same each day, grouped by learning styles, as I've just shared with you. Like, I mean, visual spatial learners in one group, kinesthetic learners in one group, right? And linguistic learners in one group. That depends upon you how you want to group. And if you are having a dynamic kind of group, that changes depending upon the student's skills and the needs, right? The teacher has to decide how he or she wants to group the students. And this model allows you to differentiate your teacher-led instruction by creating small groups in the class and providing them personalized learning experiences on computers, other tech devices as well. If you want to ask me, like, this strategy can be used with which age group? Certainly, I would like to answer, like, even from kindergarten to grade 12, you can use this strategy with any of the age group. You can introduce students to 21st century technology skills. And when we always talk about 4 C's, creativity, communication, collaboration, and critical thinking, that can also be fostered in our students through this station rotation strategy, right? So here, this station rotation model, it changes the role of the teacher by allowing for greater flexibility, right? Of course, it is flexible when you will be working with small group of students and students are independently working on the assigned task facilitated by the teacher. It doesn't mean, I mean, you have to completely have different lessons for each group. The same lesson you are teaching, but you have to facilitate different groups depending upon their needs. Like, we'll be talking about different kinds of stations. So before students will move to different stations, the first and foremost requisite is what is to be done. As a teacher, we have to provide various kinds of instructions to the students, like which topic we are going to study in the class today, and what all stations would be, what all students will be there in group A, group B, group C, or you may name them red group, blue group, green group. I mean, that depends upon you how you want to divide the students. And accordingly, you will allocate the time, like group A, B, C, they will be spending the time, maybe 10 minutes on a particular station, and then there would be transition. They will be going to some another station, right? So all these instructions can be communicated to the students well in advance, and it will take around 5 to 7 minutes for a teacher to explain the same. And here I'm going to discuss about teacher-led station. The first station that we are going to discuss is teacher-led station. Here, what kind of activities can be planned? Either it can be direct instruction, where teacher will be able to teach directly to the students, instruct them what is the topic all about. Okay. And maybe the students, they are involved in some kind of discussion, and teacher will be facilitating the discussion in between, asking them questions, facilitating them, right? Whenever the students, they are seeking any kind of help, the teacher should be available for that, right? And any kind of oral assessment can also be conducted in the class. So these kind of activities can be conducted in a student-led instruction, teacher-led model, right? That is the station we are talking about. Now, let's move further. I would like to give you some kind of examples of teacher-led station now. What all kind of activities can be planned? Like, for example, here the teacher is giving direct instruction. I told you they are reading a passage from the book and they are discussing. So teacher can involve all the students in the discussion. She can ask questions, and here any kind of strategy can be used. I mean, I always talk about triple PB strategy: pose a question, pause for some time, and then pounce and bounce the answer to the other child. Or maybe other kind of visible thinking routines can be used. That entirely depends upon you, right? So here comes to this. In this picture, the teacher is facilitating the teaching learning process through hands-on activities. So in the corner of the class, these kind of activities can be planned, right? So that the students, they will have some kind of exposure to hands-on activities, and they'll be able to draw some kind of inferences. It's not necessary that teacher has to demonstrate. Even the students, they can do the activities on their own. As you can see in the picture, here the students, they are sorting various seeds, monocots, dicots, right? Wherever they seek any kind of help, the teacher should be available to facilitate the activity, right? And in between, teacher should be able to ask questions also, like on what basis you are sorting these seeds into monocots, dicots, or it can be any other activity can be planned. This is just one example. I mean, that kind of activity was conducted. So here, as in this picture, you can see the children, they are experiencing the effects of force. That kind of activity can also be planned. You can plan tug of the war, right, in your class, or maybe some kind of other activities can be planned that can be done under the supervision of the teacher. So here the students, they are drawing something, and in between they are seeking some kind of help, and they are approaching the teacher. Teacher is always available in teacher-led station. So here also, I mean, some kind of assessment is given to the students, and wherever they seek any kind of help, teacher is ready to provide that help to the students. In this picture also, you'll be able to see the students, they are doing some kind of hands-on activities, and teacher is facilitating the process. Here as well, the students, they are learning the process, experimenting, sedimentation, decantation, filtration. That process is going on, and some kind of activities, hands-on activities are being done, right? So here we are just talking about teacher-led station, where all the activities are being done under direct supervision of the teacher, right? So here in this activity, also you'll be able to notice the students are learning about the importance of various joints. The students, they are empathizing the situation. Like if a particular joint is not working, the child or any of the person gets hurt, then how, I mean, that person feels some kind of difficulty, in having food, or maybe performing another daily activities. So they do empathize the situation. So this is another activity being done under the supervision of the teacher, where the students, they are experimenting with the effects of, air. Like here, look at this activity where the students, they are just getting to know how simple machines work, right? Different kinds of simple machines. They are making the models. They are just checking about fulcrum, load, effort, like all those things they are experiencing. So this is also being done under the supervision of the teacher. And here they are learning about diffusion, right? And this is also small experiments they are being done, and they can be easily conducted in the class. I mean, you don't need much of the equipments. Easily the same, these kind of activities can be planned in one corner of the class. And here the students, they are learning about the water cycle. They are, reciting rhymes and maybe songs under the supervision of the teacher, because here they are not just singing the songs or maybe reciting the rhymes. Teacher is there who would be facilitating that kind of instruction and would be asking questions in between, right? So here also, as I told you, a topic for discussion is being shared with the students. The students, they are discussing, and teacher is there to facilitate that discussion. Okay. And here the children, they are talking about water conservation, right? And here the teacher is facilitating the discussion. And here in this picture also, you can see the students, they are learning about the parts of the flower, and the teacher is facilitating the discussion, demonstration, and is showing them the different parts of the flower. And here, as I told you, and the students, they are being divided into different groups, and they are working, and the teacher is facilitating the process, observing them, how the students, they are working. Here also, the children, they are learning about waste management system in different countries, right? So this group is working under the supervision of the teacher. So here is another example. Actually, this is fish bowl strategy that is being happening in the class. A small group, they are discussing something, and the teacher is facilitating the discussion. It can be any topic. Suppose you are talking about adjectives, right? In your class teaching languages, where are adjectives used? Why are adjectives used? How can adjectives, affect our language, right? So all those things can be discussed in the class. And this is another example of teacher-led station. The students, they are learning about various planets. Role plays are being happening. There they are learning about different seasons, right? And here the children, they are explaining something under the observation of the teacher. Teacher is facilitating the process, right? And here also you can see the students, they sit, they discuss with the teacher, discuss amongst each other, right? So that even helps enhance the communication as well. Some kind of bonding is being developed between the teacher and the students when we are dealing with the children in a small group, right? So here they are experiencing how the pulley works, experimenting, right? Either you can conduct the same in the class or maybe outside the class. Howsoever, I already told you, it depends upon the environment of the school, like how you are working in your class. Usually these kind of activities, when they are being done, so they should be done outside the classroom. Okay. And here the students, they are learning about water cycle, right? Teacher-led station. In this picture, the students, they are exploring about various kinds of routes, right? So, they are actually experiencing how to identify various kinds of routes. So let's now talk about station 2. Like I told you, student-led station, student-led activities are being done. Puzzles, various hands-on activities are being conducted. So what all things can be done in this station? As you can see here, I have already listed group work with roles, hands-on activities, projects, and various kinds of games can be planned, right? Now look here at the picture. The students, they are working in a group, but their work is not being facilitated by the teacher directly. On one station, there are some activities, some puzzles, some jigsaw puzzles are being kept, or it can be something, anything. I mean, some kind of activities here. They are doing something, discussing and doing it on their own, spending some time over there, right? So here they are just trying, playing the role play, knowing about food chain. Okay, how does it work on their own? Student-led station. They made masks and they are wearing it, right? I told you student-led activities, some craft work, some puzzles, anything can be planned for them. See, look here. Or what you can do in one corner of the class where there are some puzzles, hand-on activities, some of the games related to your topic can be kept. Right here, one game is kept where the students, they are experiencing the effects of force, right? This game is being planned. Bucket the ball. This is the game plan for them. And they're experiencing how much force is required to put the ball in the bucket. So these kind of activities would certainly be done by the student. They would enjoy it. And here they are creating something using clay. It's clay play. Play-Doh activities are being done. They are creating systems. So respiratory system, they are created over here. I mean, any kind of system or any other thing you'll be able to do in your class. Here they are experiencing what is the growth of the seeds, like the different stages. So they are sowing seeds, they are observing. I mean, the same obviously cannot be done immediately. When you will be putting the seed, it will not be growing immediately. This is just an example. The students will be able to experience, okay, through hands-on activities. So now coming to the third station, as I told you, online instruction. It's a kind of flipped learning. E-station, how will it work? As you can see in the picture, the students, they are sitting in a group, a laptop if it is available. I mean, if you have got an access to the laptop, the students, they will be able to use the technology. It can be laptop, it can be PC, any other thing, any other device, whatever is available with you. So, I mean, they will be able to watch some kind of videos over there, followed by some assessment. It can be on Google Forms, it can be Microsoft Forms, it can be, they can record their videos on Flipgrid, that can be add puzzle activities, any kind of activities that you can plan, I mean, based on technology. Or if you have got smart board access, you can also play some kind of videos. Either you can use YouTube videos related to your content, or you can play your own recorded videos where the students will be able to follow the instructions given by you, or maybe some of the activities that you have already conducted in the class and you have got recorded. The students will be able to watch those records and will be able to complete the assessment on Flipgrid forms, howsoever you want to conduct. I mean, this is e-station. So make sure you use technology at this station for assessment, for facilitating the process. I mean, whatever they are watching. There is no paper and nothing reading material is there. Everything electronic media, right? So what kind of activities can be planned? As you can see, I have listed over here. Please do go through. Individualized assignments, whether for remediation or maybe for extension, that can be given to the students, right? Adaptable software research. Okay, your students should be able to access internet and will be able to research. Any kind of digital presentation, you can give them some time to create a presentation using technology. Interactive activities, discussion boards, they also can use that. For example, I usually use Padlet in my class. That is a wonderful tool. Okay, and you'll be able to create your digital display boards. Nowadays, you see, during pandemic, our students, they are not able to use different kinds of, you see, they are not able to visit the lab also, and they have got access to simulations. Let them use simulations. These kind of activities can be planned at e-station, right? So now after all the students, they'll visit all the stations. Like suppose we have divided the class into 3 groups, and each group will be spending 10 minutes at each station, 30 minutes. 5 minutes we have spent initially to give the instructions. Usually we have a 40 minutes class, and at the last 5 minutes should be, kept for wrap up, where the students, they will be coming back to your seats, and the teacher would be facilitating, would be asking about their experience, and one of the volunteers can share his or her, the team leader can be, they can share his or her experience, like how did they feel while doing the activities. So now quickly let's talk about what are the various tips or the benefits, right? I would like to suggest you, there should be station day either once in a week or maybe once in a quarter. Let your students experience this thing. Only then they will be used to. Like, otherwise, if you will be conducting it once in 6 months, they won't be able to, you see, use the time wisely. They won't be able to get to know the objective of creating different kinds of groups. And if we talk about the benefits, this helps develop socio-emotional skills. When the students, they are working in groups, they are doing some hands-on activities, right? They are moving from one station to another. They are listening to each other. So all 21st century 4Cs have already discussed, they'll be developed. And independent thinking, independent learning. The students, they'll be doing the activities independently, right? Metacognition, thinking of thinking. When they're working independently, they are doing some kind of activities, they are sharing their experience while working at different stations, their thinking is being developed. Active learning, when they are doing some activities, and from that, in those inferences and conclusions, they are developing their own thinking, so they are actively involved in the learning. And assessment for learning, assessment as learning, both are happening over here. When whatever the students, they have learned, they are doing some activities, they are having them assessment also at the e-station. So this is also being facilitated, right? So please make sure you use this amazing strategy in your classes and bring that kind of excitement in your class. You will be able to provide your students with differentiated teacher led instruction. Please make sure you, after you implement this strategy, you share your experience with me. How did you feel? How your students reacted to these kind of strategies? Please do share your experience in the comment section below. I would wait for your feedback. And if you really like my initiative of sharing my learnings, my experiences, these kind of strategies with you, make sure you subscribe to my channel and do hit the like button. Thank you once again from Meenakshi Narula at Mentoring the Mentors.